put the phone down. I said to the doctor, Dr. Miller, was Margaret will remember, and I said, well, what does the surgery involve? And he said, well, they're going to put in carbon fiber discs to replace the ones that are broken or burst. And I went, oh, okay, well, it's in a very small area, so maybe they can just do like a little incision and then take them out, you know. He says, no. He says, it's not like that. They have to go in here, you know, through the front. And I went, what? And he said, yes, they slice your throat, and then, or your neck, and then they pull open the skin, and they go down through past your windpipe, and because they have to go in for some reason, that's where the least nerves are in the spine for them to be able to operate. And I went, holy I said, and I looked around and Margaret was crying. God love her. And I said, don't worry, we love. And I said, but did I hear you mentioning windpipe? And he said, yeah. And I says, I can't have that done. I says, because if I'm going to, you know, be out of work from the point of view of doing what I do, you know, I was being very well paid for it. It was heavy work, but it was, you know, there was a reward for that. And he said, I'm going to have to sing, you know, for a living. And how can I sing if my windpipe's been messed about with? Because my vocal cords might be affected. And he went, well, they most definitely will, John. And I went, fuck. So anyway, he says, it's either that or agony for the rest of your life. What a choice, eh? So the surgery was scheduled anyway, and in the meantime, he sent me to some specialists on the Malone Road, where I was given further MRI scans, and these MRI scans are class. I'm going to actually use some of them as a cover for a future album, because I mean, when you see these things, it's just a wonder that Metallica haven't already done this sort of thing. So not only do you see your back, you see it from along 3D, you know, along, and then and I saw mine, and I was going, and there was like this, you know, there was where something was supposed to be, it was not. So the specialist said, what's going to happen is you're going to lose muscle here and here, and all the a C7 nerve was affecting everything. I was trapped in whatever. So the surgery sounds like the right option. And then Morgan and I went to Florida and everything, me in agony. And it was the best thing that ever happened, except for one time involving a tube of wintergreen, or you know, that stuff you rub on your back for the make, because Margaret had brought a tube of this stuff. I can't remember what it's called, to tell you the truth, but you rub it on your muscles and it heats them up, you know, sort of thing. So it's meant to, you know, it was supposed to be going to hurt, ease my back, sort of thing. And then she had rubbed my back this particular day. And you know, Florida, you know, and it's hot and everything's going great, and you know, and then you know, I'm married to a woman, you know what I mean. So things started to get a wee bit hot and heavy, and then things started to get hot and heavy, and I'm talking about hot and heavy, and I jumped up and went, ah! Margaret had moist her hands after putting the heat rub, you know, onto my back. So when it went to other parts of my body, it made them burn. You've never seen anybody run outside and jump into a swimming pool as quick as you saw me doing in your life, and steam coming out of the swimming pool. Oh my God! But anyway, yeah, I must actually apologise to Margaret for. I should have said actually before making any of these videos that I'm just going to say whatever comes into my head in the first instance. But anyway, we came back from Florida. I was on all sorts of medication and whatever. And then, yeah, I started to. I love drawing, obviously, as you know, but I wasn't able to do any drawing. But then I said to myself, I'm going to try it. And I stood up. I have a wee in Margaret's house. We had a loft conversion, and that's where I did my artwork. But I used to have to bend forward over an artboard, and the weight of my head, like this head, it was too much for my neck to bear. But I started doing this drawing of the bonfire. I'll post that at another time, and I realised that I was able to lean forward a wee bit better than normal. And then I realised that I was able to have day 2 of a drawing, day 3, and I went. So I contacted the doctor, and the doctor said, it's nothing that I can, just go straight to the specialist, okay? So he booked me in with the specialist. Margaret and I went along, and he went, yes, there's muscle regrowth there, and there's yes, all this. He says, and what about the pain and the spasms and stuff? I said they've lessened. He says, have you had the surgery? And I said, no, I haven't had the surgery. He says, impossible, man. So they've done an MRI scan anyway, and I went back a few days later to get the results, and he said, John, I've never seen the like of this. I mean, I have to take a drink whenever I think about it. So I said, what has been the remedy? You know, I mean, obviously I'm able to be more flexible and stuff. He says, well, what's happened in your case is, well, you know the like gristle and sinews and stuff that, you know, make up, you know, the parts of your joints and stuff. He says, your gristle has formed in between your vertebra, like sort of crept in and sort of become like a sort of a wee life of its own where it's not supposed to be. He says, because obviously there's supposed to be a disc there, you know, with a vertebra on top of it. He says, your gristle and whatever, I don't even know what it is, but it's gristle basically. He says it has actually pushed its way in between your vertebra and pushed your vertebra apart, freed up the C7 nerve, and that's the reason why you've got less pain. And my fingers had dropped and everything, and the fingers were back up again. And oh yeah, I digress. Fingers back up. That's my brother. My brother gave me that ring a long time ago, and I stopped wearing rings for a long time. But recently I've worn it a lot, and it's helped me a good lot too. And I'll tell you about That's for another post. But anyway, I digress. But anyway, so I eventually got better by myself. No surgery needed, which meant that I could then sing. So I was able to make a living. So everything worked out okay. You know, I'm still, you know, it's still unnatural what happened, but at the same time, who's complaining? I'm still here. I'm still flexible. Still headbang, still sing, so everything worked out in a way that you weren't expecting it to work out. So you see where I'm going with this? So I mean, my life just seems to be full of things like that, you know. See, I said I wasn't going to make a long video in there, but I'll get to squeeze this last wee one in. And this is for the people, because I have to thank everybody for their very, very supportive words with regards to what I was talking about previously, and will be, you know, topics of mine in the future, which are obviously things to do with mental health issues. I'm pointing at me, but I should be pointing at you, because me and you all seem to be, you know, I didn't realize so many people actually had like issues with their mental health, even to small degrees, you know. But anyway, so yeah, just every time I bring up this subject, and I just have to take a wee breath. But anyway, this is a very quick story. JJ, my son JJ, he's been like 3 years or whatever waiting on some sort of an assessment with regards to his own, because I suffer from it. I think they want to make sure he's okay or whatever. And this, because, you know, if he's disruptive in school or whatever, and he's not disruptive in school, he's 9, you know what I mean? And back then he was 6, he's just been a 6-year-old. But his headmaster rang me up one day and said, Mr. Harbinson, I think we're